Yeah.
We get ready to set this up. We have somebody in the studio here we got to introduce you to. Fox Business contributor Scotty Martin back here with us to make it rain. We call it weather in your wallet, but you're really making it rain.
We've got the singles. Steven's over here, so I mean, we're ready. Great point, Amy, about how there's such changes, in the weather alone, but also in some of these areas that are used to things being maybe not so climate great, and then all of a sudden we get some changes, and all of a sudden, like you guys were talking about, then the drought's gone. Like you said, Steven, all things are happening.
Well, and that was the major rivers. We think of the Mississippi River, right? And that is such a major route, a channel, upstream, downstream. Vicksburg has been the focus. We had record low levels. I mean, down in New Orleans, too, where the port of New Orleans, so many goods are trafficked through there. Was there a direct impact that we've seen over the summer with these lower levels?
There's been some. Sometimes the ships that are a little bit larger than most can't get up there, can't get as far up, or they have some trouble maybe getting in that port, Stephen. And so things get slowed down, things get backed up, or they find other routes to deliver the goods, which adds more cost, it adds delays, and then all of a sudden you have different things that we're kind of working with when it comes to delivering those goods to the consumer.
Some of those things are sort of ripple effect. We don't always see it exactly, face to face. It is, as you say, down the mark. We pay for it later.
You do.
Right? But one thing that we are seeing close up and personal right now in Louisiana is the situation with the crawfish.
The crawfish.
Fat Tuesday is right around the corner, and New Orleans,
heartbreaking.
It's $14 a pound. So, and some businesses, I read a restaurant on Fox Business, actually, this article, that typically sells 20,000 pounds of crawfish.
My word.
Doesn't have anything to sell.
That's an evening for Stephen and I. And it's like, it's one of those things where, Amy, you're right, though. The demand is still there, but the supply is not. So the prices accelerate. They inflate big time. And then folks start to worry about, well, are we going to get more are things going to lessen up? Are they going to get better? And then all of a sudden things get kind of backed up even more because then prices go up further in anticipation of them not getting better. People don't buy as much of it. And then all of a sudden what happens typically in economics, then the producers overproduce the crawfish eventually when things do get back to normal, and then they've got too much, and then the prices plummet.
That's the only way people are getting crawfish, too, by the way. Overproduced years, they've put frozen crawfish, they've frozen the supply, and so that's what people are able to get right now.
Maybe the slight freshness is gone.
I was thinking that, right, which is like, it's not like you're going to buy it in your grocer's freezer, per se. I mean, I would, because I love crawfish, but you're right, there's all these adjustments that get made in the marketplace just to get it to people's hands or mouths.
Thinking about the freezer, the northern U.S., and Bob had brought it up, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Think about the freezer. But the temperatures, that's been remarkable. These January thaws, they can be predicted. I mean, we have them almost every year. But to see golfing occur up in Minnesota, I mean, is there a silver lining here? Is this good?
It's funny. There's a silver lining in the fact that I think it's great to have cold weather and warm weather, because you kind of appreciate both in that sense, especially if they're close. But it's one of those things, too, where it's kind of a little unnatural. So the folks that would be in Minnesota that should be ice fishing, skiing, doing some other winter events that are big parts of that state as far as what the industries are, they're not doing them. And all of a sudden the golfing is going to be there most of the year as it is anyway, because, it does get warm up there in the summer, because I know that being a Vikings fan and going up there and crying myself to sleep and thinking the team's going to get better. But there's also things up there that the state needs, which, Stephen, to your point, are not being done because the fact it is over 50 degrees there, up towards 60, I think, in some areas.
You have the ice box. You have International Falls that yesterday, end of January, had their warmest January high temperature reported.
Crazy.
And they got smoked earlier in January. And they were getting blasted with some blizzards. They had cold air coming in from the Polar Express.
Turnaround.
And then all of a sudden we're like, wait, did that even happen?
And there's a big economic driver, too, the Winter Carnival. That draws in about $2 to $3 million for the Twin Cities. I mean,
melting before their eyes.
It's not even, there's no snowmen up there.
There's some of
the ice sculptures don't look so great.
This is not a good advertisement for them right now.
Maybe there'll just be more drinking involved. But those are things, too, that just throw off kind of that calendar.
I'm sure it's melting water.
And it's melting, and I think that looks like vodka even. But there's just one of those things where it does change the whole aspect of things. Yes, I can see that it is. It looks tasty. It just changes the whole landscape of things. It does throw people off, and then all of a sudden they don't make plans to do that stuff.
Right.
And they go do other things, which is great because it translates to other parts of the economy. It's just some states need it more than others.
All right. Well, I guess we'll catch you on Cavuto later today.
Yes, at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. We will see you on Cavuto. Thank you for your insights, for weather in your wallet, and for always making it rain. Fox Business analyst Scott Martin, thanks for being here with us on Fox Weather.